What's up everyone? Right now I'm going to start my Mass Effect reflection. What this is basically going to be is me talking about the original Mass Effect game in several videos in several different parts. And forgive me, and if I go slowly or I start to ramble, forgive me, but that is what I plan for this to be, because I want to talk as much as I can and, and evaluate as many things that I like about the game to you. So, with that being said, let's begin. Now, the first time I got Mass Effect, it was second hand. I was in GameStop one day and I was getting a whole bunch of cheap games. I used to like go down to the old game shop, find a bunch of cheap Xbox 360 games, like and get like 5 or 6 for like €30. Like, who doesn't love a deal? So when I did that, and then one of these games stuck out to me, Mass Effect. I heard a little bit about it, but I never really, like took too much notice. Of course, back then I was too busy playing like Joe Cadre 4 and Gears of War and such. And I looked at the cover and it interested me. It had like this, the cover, as you remember, it has I believe Ashley, Shepard and another person in the cover. Forgive me, I can't remember. And then it has Saren at the top. Because I didn't know any of this at the time. I just thought it looked cool. It kind of looked epic in a sense. So I said, I'll pick it up. I think it was like €10, which is crazy when I think about it. That game must have been out for a year or two before the right time I played it. And well, what can I say? I picked up the game, and when I finally got to play it, I fell in love from the very first moment. The character customization there. Now, I played a couple of games where you could create a character, but never to the extent or to the detail that you're able to do in this. And the thing I like, it wasn't just a random character creator. Like, it wasn't like game changing or anything like that. It's just the way it was presented. It's presented as in like kind of just like you're looking up a file or a computer or something like that. It's just, I don't know, that's the thing about Mass Effect. The thing it does very well is the little things, little details you notice. And I created my character. Well, honestly, okay, the first time I played it, I didn't create my character. I just kept it basic male. Like I was really young. I was more just like, come on, just get to the game. I wanted to see what it's like. So the game began, and as everyone knows, has that text. The year, forgive me, I'm trying to remember, 2187, I believe. The Mass Effect relays were discovered, and it propelled humanity years on than it should have been in technology and all that good stuff. And then you heard the classic, just a Mass Effect sound, the iconic. It's not even, I don't even call it a theme song. It's just the like 5 seconds of atmospheric music, we'll call it, that every Mass Effect fan knows now. And then it goes to a window on a ship looking out into space, and you hear Anton and Udina talking about Shepard. Udina is always questioning Anton, is Shepard capable of doing? They're going through some background things about Shepard that you can choose in the character creation, mind you. And then we get to the start. And it starts off with this within the ship where there's this woman or male. I started saying a man or woman, and he's walking through the I'm going to say the deck. What's the right way? The bridge of the ship, of course. The bridge of the ship. And they're walking through the bridge, and it's a great way to start, because the way the camera angle, it gives you like a clear view of the bridge from the way they entered all the way up to where the captain's, or should I say the pilot's chair is. And then it turns around and it shows your character, Shepard. And then there's a brief conversation between Joker and Caden, and what do you see? What's the one thing you notice? It goes straight into gameplay. One of my favourite YouTubers, Action Guy, now known as Low Runner, made a similar point. Is that you don't realise that type of gameplay. You expect that moment to be a cutscene, but no, it's gameplay, and it's really striking because yeah, you can get away with it's so smoothly it transitions. Like, this is probably the first time I've ever seen it transition so well from a cutscene to gameplay. The thing is, it wouldn't even be counted as a cutscene because it's just integrated as one. And it was really well done. And when I started to play the game, I walked back and I took notice of the design of the ship, as we know, the Normandy, and it was really, the details were really well done. They really made it like look like a spaceship. Like, but it wasn't like too alien as you like. You could tell it was a human vessel. The standard tables, the chairs, but they were done in a kind of sci-fi way where it gives you that human feel, but still sci-fi-esque at the same time. Anyway, we walked down, and we talked to what's his name? Presley. And he goes, we talk, and he says they said comfortable with aliens and all that being on board. So that was a good like dialogue, because it showed that humans, as well, kind of not racist aliens, but some humans dislike them more than others, and it was like a subtle way to kind of early on to hint at the themes of like that maybe aliens and humans don't get along so well. Of course, it gets much more expanded on there, but then you move on to. What is her name? Give me a moment. I can't remember at the moment, but I can't believe because she's one of my favourite characters in the game. But the female doctor, Dr. Chalk was. I knew I remember. I'm getting these weird like what? Oh god. Oh jeez. I'm blanked. I know I'm blanking on what I was about to say there. Basically what it was is that Dr. Chalk was and Jenkins. I don't know what. It's taking me a while to register the names. I don't know what's happening. Anyway, Jenkins Chakwas. Basically, they're going. You hear her and him talking, and basically Jenkins is like this young soldier who's ready to go out to face the war, and you can tell from that the way his personality is, the way his attitude is that you can tell he's a new or like a rookie, because most soldiers kind of have a more calm thing about them. Like some soldiers can still be like that as they move on, but most tend to be more calmer. Would prefer to not be in war, or they'd be like more patient before the time comes. But Jenkins was excited because he never had a real mission like this before, and it was a very good way to. It was a very clever way to show. Like he didn't have to say, "Hi, I'm a rookie. This is my first mission," although he says something like this is his first mission, but. You wouldn't even need to know, because the way he speaks and the personality that comes off, you can tell straight away that he is a rookie. And Chalk was, and you can tell that he's like an experienced doctor, because as we'll see later on, she'll tell you, but you can tell because the way she worries, her kind of sarcastic mannerisms, she's used to dealing with soldiers and recruits like Jenkins, which is a very disturbing fact, because once the fact that she's experienced and the way her sarcasm comes off, not in like a dick, not in like a condescending way, and more in a worried way. And you have to wonder how much death has Dr. Chalkwas experienced, or how much pain has he seen the soldiers in, and then. So I think our sarcasm is almost necessary, because you need to have, if you're ever in a situation where it's constant suffering or bad shit keeps happening, you need some form of defense mechanism to keep you sane, to keep you going in that moment. And I fully believe that Dr. Chalkwas' sarcasm helps, because it never comes off as her being like a bitch or something. It comes across as like she's worried, she's caring, and she's kind of wise, and she's using her sarcasm to kind of say, cop on. And of course, after that, we finally move on to Anderson, and what is his name? I'm going to say the tour inspector we encounter is, oh my god, I want to say Silas, but I don't think that's right. But we'll just call it Silas. And basically, you go in and you talk, and it. Wait, is it Silas? I'll just say Silas for the moment. It's very annoying. I hate this blank and shit. Basically, you'll talk, and you'll separate ask, what were you doing here, Captain? And then you'll find out that the planet, the human colony that you are going to, is being attacked by this unknown force. And we see on the screen this big ship that ends the video. Well, and back then we thought maybe some weapon, some dangerous looking ship. Little did we know what it truly was. And the harbinger of death it would become. Just nice little, you know. I thought it was good for myself, but alas, the point is that from the beginning, where you see Shepard for the first time in the ship, to that moment where you figure out what your mission is and you're going to head to do it, was perfectly done. It was a great way of introducing you to the whole universe, because in that, I'm going to say roughly 10 minutes, it would take you all together, you found out that spectres were mysterious from the way Joker and Kane talked about them, that they were a special force to be reckoned with. You figured out of course, about the whole distrust or uneasiness between humanity and aliens. And then, of course, you moved on. You found Dr. Chockwaz and the young recruit like that. There's clearly some form of like war missions going on in the different dichotomy that would add. And then you went in and you found the secrecy of the mission, saying that like how like a good example because Spectres are in on the secret that everything they do is always like a top priority. And of course, the one thing I didn't say is that the whole mission is that they found this protein artifact, and straight away you're like, protein sounds important. The way they react to it, the mysterious nature of it, how badly they want to get this artifact, how rare it is, and the fact that the lack of knowledge that they seem to have on protein indicates that they're a big race and they're like really important. And all this in the first 10 minutes is incredible how they display this information. And of course, in this first 10 minutes, you kind of get a hang for the conversation tree, and you kind of decide, from that briefing, you're like, what way your shepherd's going to be if you continue down this similar path of choices. Of course, you can change at any point, but it gives you a nice little way introduction how the dialogue tree works and all the different things. It gives you like introduces some characters, some elements of the universe. And for the first 10 minutes, I thought it was a great way to start off and an excellent introduction to Mass Effect, because from there I was intrigued, and that brought me nicely to the first mission, Eden Prime, and I will discuss that in my next video. If you enjoyed this, please continue to watch, because I'll be going into a lot of detail, and all the videos for now will be roughly this length in the Mass Effect reflection, around 10 to 12 minutes. So if you're interested, keep watching. I promise I will have more, and as always, if you love it, please subscribe, like, comment, anything, especially for a Mass Effect fan, comment, because I love to discuss about Mass Effect. It is my favourite game series of all time. So thank you, and I'll see you next time.